Good morning and warm welcome to all of you. I just have to say 2-3 words. So enjoy the beauty of discrete maths and its powerful application, right? That's all. Thanks. After lunch, you may be feeling sleepy, right? Most of the time. But this is an important thing as a researcher. This product developed by Professor Manish K Gupta, who is a faculty at our place, and initially when he came to DICT, he had this intention to start a company. So you will hear more about his journey, how he ended up with the company, and also being a professor, which I think we are trying to promote in our country, and especially in our institute. This is the faculty-led startup which is quite successful, and I think so you will learn how how one as a faculty you can also start a professor, because this is very important thing. But I think about his journey you will learn tomorrow. Today he is going to demonstrate the product which is useful for the researchers. Just like that, suppose if you log in your Facebook page and you see certain news feeds, many times you see that based on your behavior, it will give you different kind of references, right, or ad, whatever. You can think on the similar analogy, this product, though I'm not really expert in the product, but I think he'll tell you more about it. So here, you can get more suitable references, papers and everything. I think there are a lot of other things that you can do with this product. It's a great product, so you should try this product, and I think Professor Manish K Gupta actually did his PhD in computer science from USA, and right now he is still as a faculty and also as a entrepreneur, as a CEO of this company. So I think I would like to see every university should have these kind of faculty, and I'm also thankful to him because he has supported all the student travels for this conference, so another great thing. Because of him, we would say that, well, so we have the money for supporting the students' travel, So with these words, I invite Professor Manish K Gupta to give the demo. Thank you, Mayur. And I think it's a really great pleasure. So a dream that I saw some time back, that we should mix academic people and the startup community. And so somehow we created this one day of this event so that, and I'm thankful to Dr. Manish, who took the time to come here from his busy schedule. So I just want to introduce him briefly. Dr. Manish has done, he has a long career at IBM, so I'll just mention a couple of things. Of course, first thing I'll talk about IIT, because, we are all IITians, so he did his BTech from IIT, and, he did his PhD from University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. Currently, he is a co-founder and CEO of VideoCan, educational technology startup, and also Infosys Foundation Chair Professor at IIIT Bangalore. Previously, Manish has served as a Vice President and Director of Xerox Research Center India, and he has served as a Director IBM Research, Chief Technologist IBM India and South Asia, Senior Manager at IBM TJ Watson Research Center. And especially I would like to mention about his team which has developed Blue Gene, and for that IBM was awarded National Medal of Technology and Innovation by US President Barack Obama in 2009. Manish has written co-authored 75 papers and more than 6,000 citations in Google Scholar, and H-index of 45, which is quite high, and he has been granted 19 US patents. While at IBM, Manish also received 2 Outstanding Technical Achievement Awards and Outstanding Innovation Award. He is also an ACM Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, and also recipient of Distinguished Alumni Award of IIT Delhi. So I welcome with these words Dr. Manish Gupta. Thank you. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you, probably to set up the stage for today's panel discussion as well. And I think there was one talk cancelled because, so that's why I'm trying to fill some gap. By the way, this is the talk which I gave some time back, how not to work for Google or create a company like Google, So essentially that is a thing, right? How can it create such kind of companies? And so basically I'll just give a brief and what if you fail to create such a company, So I think that I can just tell you towards the end. So of course, innovation is, as the birth of living creatures at first are ill-shapen, so are all innovations which are birth of time. So this is a very famous quote by Francis Bacon. So I just want to talk about what is known as circle of innovation. And I think if you want to make, if in India, so the question why we are looking at this problem, if you look at Israel or if you look at US, tech-based startups are quite a lot. And over the years, because I have been involved in over the last 12 years with all the government committees here and there and discussing we want to create a startup ecosystem in India. And what I feel, despite of so many plans or schemes from the government, still we do not have companies like Google or Facebook in India. So what are the challenges actually, Why is so what are the real challenges? So basically, if you look at what I call circle of innovation, in order to do great business, what I feel in most of the people want to create business, especially in Gujarat, but what is lacking if you want to create technology-based startup, there are very few. Okay, so I think if you want to do that business, we need to do great science first, because science is the catalyst to technology, which will give you a utility. And if you can sell the utility, you will have business. And that business should again fuel back to the science. So this circle of innovation, so I think from the point of view of India, so we need to look at all these 4 angles if we really want to become just like US or Israel. So of course, why great science? Science is the catalyst, source of great ideas, power of imagination. And of course, in science, if you know what you are doing, you should not be doing it. That's the important thing by important statement by Hemming. And how to get great ideas? On every week, I normally tell the students, on every weekend you go to a library, read periodicals on everything, science, business, technology, history, etc. In fact, I can say that now maybe you can go to Videocon library, right, and just read, because now reading looking at the whole video is quite difficult, but small portions you can always look at it, right? Something which you should do. So at least spend some time doing that. And of course, in the circle of innovation, we know that technology is the application. So what is engineering? Engineering is all about control of science for the benefit of mankind. And again, I want to quote, in engineering, if you do not know what you are doing, you should not be doing it actually. You see, so both are really important view, both from Hemming. And business is the opportunity. So if anything that won't sell, I don't want to invent. And sale is proof of utility. Utility is success, said by Thomas Alva Edison when he was frustrated creating a few when he created a electronic voting machine long time back, and I think which he could not sell. So of course, so if you look at science, technology, and business, so business is the third component, and so once you are able to sell, then you have a business. So then business again should fuse money back to the science. So this circle of innovation should be completed. And I think in India, this is broken circle actually. And what can be done? So probably in the panel discussion, we can actually talk about it. What are the challenges, maybe in our academic system or the universities, or whether in fact, if you look at from the point of view of even research grants. So normally at IITs, professor gets grants straightforward, but other places it's not really well. And moreover, in IITs the professors are getting mostly government grants, but industry grants are very less. So I think those are the challenges. So that circle is not working properly, even if it is there. And I think I have observed these following ingredients for any innovation to become reality. We require a fertile ground, conducive environment, correct timing, belief in the field, and management team of people who share a passion for the subject, and determination as to succeed, which is really very, very important thing. I hope Manish has created a company, so having all these things right. Because I also tried some company long time ago in US back in 2002 related to mobile advertisement, but at the time mobile phones were not really quite popular. So basically, we know that now there is a InMobi on working in the mobile advertisement platform started in 2007. So timing is very, very important, right? When you want to do something, so that's really very, very important thing. So what we feel that innovation has to be backed up by solid technical credentials, may not be degree, and interdisciplinary approaches. This is something, and the fertile ground for startups can be created by creating solid technical people, and innovative spark. Rest all will follow. And you can see, if you look at the history, most of the best entrepreneurs of the world are self-taught. Okay, so what kind of skills you require? Selling. So best utility creation will do the job. How to manage people, how to manage money, and of course you require domain skills. For programming, you should have written several thousands of lines of code to have that kind of skills. So. And of course, for strong IT skills, I always say for computer science people, if you have not read this book, you don't know computer science, right? So this is something, especially for the students, if you want to create something in IT-based startup. So I think how to solve a problem. I mean, you can look at this book by George Polya. Really, if there is a difficult problem, you can always solve some simpler problem and so on. This is the company which I was talking about, InMobi. So Naveen was at IIT Kanpur when I was there. So I think I in fact asked him to come here, but unfortunately he was quite busy traveling, so he could not come. But it's really nice, a smartphone-based startup. So I think in the area of smartphone is still, the domain is quite good. Now I think briefly I'll just mention some of the new areas that are coming up in ICT or IT. Of course, especially I'm actually biased here, so I can skip some of the slides here before I. Okay, so so this new area, which is coming, is about information processing in nature, and it's a gold mine for science, technology, and business. And the question that was posed by Seth Lloyd from MIT: how systems of all kinds, computers, atom, brains, cells, societies, and the universe as a whole process information. So now I can show you some of the really good things. So this is the area that is coming up is natural computing, where you look at nature as inspiration. So you understand the nature from that point of view. Nature as computation. So some computation is going on here when these birds are bird flocking, or even the ant computing. So you can see that so you can use some of these biological things to do computation actually. So this is a very nice computation done by fungus. So this work is done in UK, and there is a book also on this. Anyway, I think so I can ask you some very good question. If you look at biology, so I can ask what is life. So of course, this famous book by Schrödinger, and I can ask how many life forms. There are about 1 trillion life forms, and out of them, how many plants are there? I think this is useful information. So there are about 31,128 useful plants are there, and out of that, you see, for different purposes, so for foods, medicines, fuel, materials. And I can ask another question: how many bacteria are there on this planet? If weight of one blue whale is about 140,000 kilogram, all the bacteria on the planet is equivalent to 50 million blue whales. So actually, each of you sitting here, each one of you has a unique bacterial signature of the ecosystem, and one can pick up those bacteria to identify you. So that is a possibility. So basically, life and computations are related, and at the interface, great discoveries are there. Who can see. So basically, there is a lot of. I'll show you some news headlines rather than yes. You see, the DNA computers have been designed to play this game of tic-tac-toe. Then there is an area of what is known as DNA origami. You can actually create great shapes. Paul Rotman actually back in 2005 he did this, and then finally 2006 this paper appeared in Nature. Here he took a strand of DNA and folded it into the desired shape. So again you are controlling the nature. He developed what is known as counter, DNA origami counter. Then a box designed by DNA which you can open and close based on the outside instructions. IBM was also working with Paul Rotman earlier, but I think there is less development yet. Back in 2009 they wanted to have a DNA chip kind of thing. Bacterial computers have been designed, so they can actually do a lot of computers. I mean, they can do pocket calculations and so on. We have human visual computing. We have ants, real ants solving Tower of Hanoi problem. So in fact, we have developed a software which can do any computation. So right now it takes input of in the form of a circuit, and it will give you. So when they did the first experiment, they have taken about 10,000 real ants, and these ants have solved the Tower of Hanoi problem. So basically how you do it, you take the problem, and with respect to the problem you design a configuration and put the ants at one side, and they will give you the solution path. Okay, so it's really nice. So we have the software ready, I mean, for doing these things. Then we have DNA sensors, DNA computers working in human cell. Then we have bacterial hard disk, 90 GB of data is stored in 1 gram of bacteria. This is a long time ago. DNA robots, DNA circuits for calculating square root, DNA brain, okay, DNA writing. So we have so this was done by Penguin at Harvard, and I think we have actually come up with the software. We automated the entire thing, what is known as DNA pen. So now you can actually, using our software, you can write things at the nanoscale. There is a 3D version of it. We have also implemented this. Then there is a programmable single cell mammalian biocomputer. So skin computing, Xyram computing, Bi-Fi rather than Wi-Fi, and of course DNA image processing. You can see that Mona Lisa thing created at the nanoscale. Okay, and of course you can ask different kind of things. So basically I just showed you, in fact your thought is also a computational process. This is a nice book that you can look at it. So all these terms are quite related: natural information processing, natural computing, DNA computing, and so on. And there are some other terms which are used. Finally, I would like to close by a quote by Steve Jobs. I think the biggest innovation of the 20th century will be at the intersection of biology and technology. A new era is beginning, right? So I just give you brief summary what kind of things are going on. So I think I will stop at this point, and if you have any questions, otherwise we can go to the next section.
Hi. So any questions?
So first of all, I enjoyed all the 5 days. I hope it was you also enjoyed. It's a long, long, so many talks. I have also learned few things, and I think I mentioned that probably for the morning talks, probably each of them we have got some new ideas where we can do certain things. So I think you might have also got similar ideas while listening to variety of talks. So I think the time has come where I would like to thank for you to come here, and also to the volunteers who have worked day and night before the event, and I think they are going to work after the event also, because there will be many closing things. So especially I would like to thank Dikshita, who has done a lot of work, Amay, who was the backbone for managing all the travel and everything, Saurabh is here. I'm not sure. Okay, must be doing some other work for the conference, I hope. Anyway, and there are a lot of other volunteers, of course. Mihir was there and his team, right? So I think I will invite one by one them, right? So you can tell the name.
Yes.
Yeah. So first of all, I enjoyed all the 5 days. I hope it was you also enjoyed. It's a long, long, so many talks. I have also learned few things, and I think I mentioned that probably for the morning talks, probably each of them we have got some new ideas where we can do certain things. I think you might have also got similar ideas while listening to variety of talks. So I think the time has come where I would like to thank for you to come here, and also to the volunteers who have worked day and night before the event, and I think they are going to work after the event also, because there will be many closing things. So especially I would like to thank Dikshita, who has done a lot of work. Amay, who was the backbone for managing all the travel and everything. Saurabh is here. I am not sure. Okay, must be doing some other work for the conference, I hope. Anyway, and there are a lot of other volunteers, of course. Mihir was there and his team, right? So I think I will invite one by one them, right? So you can tell the name.
Yes.
Yeah.